This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
Oh boy.
I'm muted. Boom. Boom. It was just a matter of time.
We got Pauline, 2med2, and
What
Dale
up?
in the chat right now. Hello.
Hello. Sorry we're late. I'm not sorry.
No one's ever sorry. No one's ever really gone, and no one's ever really sorry. Those are the two things I've learned in life. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
244 episodes, Brock. This is
Wow.
episode 244 of the Rebel Scum Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thank you. That's funny. Like we just went past 2/2/2022.
Yep.
It's too bad our 2/22 episode didn't fall roughly in that. Oh,
We should have planned it better. We need to, you know what? We'll plan it for, what's the next one that's coming up? Is in like 10 years. It's 33333 or something. I don't know what it is. There's no 33.
Oh, I see. Like
I think it's
2033.
3330. Yeah. So in 11 years, Brock, let's write this down. In 11 years, we'll be back. Pauline, 2med2, and Dale will all be here. And we're going to do it. You're right, though. We screwed up. We are a failure. And that's why our subscriber count hasn't gone up much.
That's right. But you know what? We bring you
All
fantastic content like today. We're playing Swirl, Star Wars Wordle.
Swirl!
Share that screen.
You haven't played. We're going to share the screen. We're going to play Swirl. You guys can play along right now. But Brock,
Boom.
I have a method to playing this game.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Method to play this game. I start it every day. Every time I play Swirl, I start with the word Padme.
Okay.
I always start with Padme. You get rid of your A, your D, your E. Those are big letters. Those are big letters to use. So you start off with Padme, P-A. Oh, every time it's Padme, and I've never swayed on that ever. And it's never been. I have to also say, I don't think it's never been right as long as I've done it. Okay. So now this is the thing, though. When you use it, it's easy now. It's easy. It's easy now. So you want to take it, Brian? We're playing Swirl for those listening on your car ride to work. This is Exilla. Swirl is like Wordle, but with Star Wars words.
Yeah.
And Vermont Mike is saying Lando, but it's not Lando because the way this works is the D is green and the D is in the correct spot, and the E is a letter in the word, but it's in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skywalker has more letters.
Like I
know what this is.
What is it? Oh, you already know what the thing is.
Well, I did it earlier today, but I this is the word I put in, and then based on this word, I said, "Oh, it must be X," and I got it right.
I think I know what it is. No, it can't be.
You don't know. No, you're
You know
wrong.
what?
Yeah.
You know what? I know I'm wrong, but
you're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna use 3 letters we haven't used before. It's kind of like. You can tell me how wrong I am later.
I'm disappointed in you, Brock.
This is good, though.
I'm very disappointed in you.
So it's not here. So E has to be here.
I'm very disappointed.
It's not Hondo.
I'm very disappointed in you right now. It's not,
you know what?
Hondo. I'm so disappointed in you. No, when you get it, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm also take back my Star Wars card. That's what you're gonna say when you get it. I honestly got it in 2 tries. And that's not a brag. It's just I know Star Wars better than you.
Oh, wow. DR. See, I feel like
Vermont Mike is saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I got it. Like, okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. Because like, yeah. Because like D and R, there has to be a vowel in there. I'm sure there is a way that there could be like another letter, but it's got to be a vowel. So let's just do it. Boom. Your focus
There you
determines your album.
go. Always start with Endor or with Padme. You always start with Padme, and you weed it out. I have a 2-2 saying the guess with no letters, and Vermont Mike got it correct.
Boom. Congratulations.
There you go.
Well, that was fun.
Not now. It's not. It's delay in the chat stream. It's probably because my internet is so messed up. That was a lot of fun. We should do this never again. That was fun. These word games, when people started playing Wordle, I was like, this looks, I don't even know what it looks like. It's just blocks and stuff. And I've done it a few times. It's not bad. I always start that one with chose. I believe chose is the word that I always start Wordle with. I pick like 3 words and I rotate them. You get rid of like the big letters, right? You weed out the letters and you can figure it out quite easily based on that. Anyway, look, Star Wars is Rogue Squadron. Brock, let's just get right into Rogue Squadron. Okay. Thing came out like a week ago, and they were like, "Oh, guess what? Rogue Squadron, December 23rd, 2020. No, December 20th, 2023 or something." What? I don't. So, how do you feel about Rogue Squadron not being nixed, which was the rumor, but never authenticated? Let's say. Well, no one ever officially said it wasn't happening with Patty Jenkins. And then she quit Cleopatra so she could focus on Wonder Woman 3 and Rogue Squadron. Right. But now it's coming out in a little less than 2 years. We're getting this in a little less than 2 years. Do you think we're getting Rogue Squadron from Patty Jenkins, Brock?
I mean, you sent a list to me of the other day of like these are confirmed. They are confirmed that the next films that Disney's putting out, Marvel and Star Wars and whatever have you. And nothing was in Star Wars, and it's untitled. So it's like, I don't know at this point, because Rogue Squadron has an idea. I mean, we don't know what it is, but like, I'd rather have that than untitled Taika Waititi project, untitled Rian Johnson project. So if it's happening, cool. But as we always say on the show, it's like until there's a trailer, it's not real. Obi-Wan's not real till we get a trailer. So as long as there's a plan, because it's like we still don't have any idea what Kevin Feige's doing. So, and is there, we don't know period about movies, but remind me, wasn't Rogue Squadron supposed to be Disney Plus exclusive, or was it coming out into theaters originally?
No, Rogue Squadron, that's a theatrical one. We gotta say they get a 2-2 for sitting in the super chat sticker saying keep it up is the sticker. Keep it up. We're gonna
nice. No, we're old.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. We're so old right now.
Yeah.
No, Rogue Squadron was always theatrical. That was the Patty Jenkins one. Then after that, it was poorly, possibly Taika Waititi, which there's still one for 2025 on their list. 2 years, we haven't heard much in anything. She's doing Wonder Woman 3 possibly before it. I can't see that happening unless, they back up a truck filled with money and they bring it to her and they say, you're going to do this movie first. The other thing, though, is there a rush to get that movie into the theater right now with the success they're having on TV? Like Boba Fett or not, the ratings for it, the last episode were up significantly from Mandalorian season 2 finale, which means you'd have to think that whatever Star Wars show Obi-Wan Kenobi is, not only that, I was going to say whatever Star Wars show is next, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is like, that's going to be bigger than anything based on it being Obi-Wan Kenobi. And, if that storyline kind of threads a needle, then people are going to be involved in that. And then my guess is Bad Batch comes right after that. And then right after Bad Batch, we're getting Andor. So they're on a roll right now. And you almost feel like maybe Marvel, because Marvel did a lot last year. Like Marvel had a new show last year, like every month, basically, right? They were on a bender. They WandaVision, Falcon and Soldier, Loki, What If, Shang-Chi. It was like bam, 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 bam. and they all hit hard, right? What If was probably the lowest one because it was animated, but Shang-Chi did a really well box office. So maybe they need that movie, and maybe maybe Brock, with the volume which you love, maybe that's what helps them get it done quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they would be foolish to not have anything coming out in the theaters. Like, this is, if you're not trying to put a movie out, I know it's more work putting a movie out, I guess, but like everyone's like now flocking back to the theater. Like, I know in the States, they probably have been back to the theater longer than we have, but like, I think the next 2 to 3 years is like people are going to want to go to movies. So it'd be stupid not to, but yeah, it is very odd that, I don't know why delay. Maybe it's legit. They've looked at it and like the soonest we could have a movie out is 2023, but I don't know.
I think that's fast. But you hear what they're doing with the Batman and the AMC theaters in the States. They're charging more money now, so they're trying it out. They're going to charge more money for the higher profile films, but still the same price for the regular films. So AMC is effectively killing their theaters. I think they're doing that.
Because then, like, right? Doesn't that affect the box office?
Yeah, it would. But I mean, they do it all the time. Here's I said this, I think last year when our theater shut down, then they reopened in like October, whatever it was. And when they reopened, I got an email saying our theaters are back open. And I was like, entice me, give me a free popcorn, give me an initiative to get to the theater right now. Give me something. And instead, AMC, which is not an issue here, but AMC is like, here's your initiative. We're going to charge you more money for a ticket. That's ridiculous to me. Like, no, make me, like, you just gave me 2 years, a year, whatever, 2 years of sitting on my couch, clicking a button, not having to do anything, calling a pizza, having it delivered, everything. And now you want me to go back to your business and you're going to charge me more. That's ridiculous. And the thing is, to tie into Star Wars is a top tier franchise that they're going to do that for. And it's going to cost more. Yes, it'll boost the box office, but I think it's going to scare a lot of people away.
Right.
So Pauline's saying that the prices are actually cheaper at Silver City. Silver City is a movie theater.
First of all, Silver City, Pauline. I know you live in Brampton, but
hey, she lives.
I live in Huttonville, so leave me out.
I worked at that Silver City, Pauline. I worked at that Silver City.
Yeah, no, it is true. Like, the last time I went to the movie, we went to VIP on a Tuesday and it was like profoundly cheaper. But like that, it doesn't make any sense because like I think it's fairly well known that movie theaters make more money on concessions, right? But at the same note, it's like you can't change the pricing on tickets. I mean, I'm sure you could figure out an inflation to truly get the box office numbers, but like, isn't that the whole point? Like, a movie needs to have a specific set of numbers of how much tickets were sold to prove, or I mean, they need to make their money back in general. But you know what I mean? Like, they want to make their money back that way. But like, what do? Drop the ticket price or drop food? Like you just said, like food makes sense. But then are theaters more concerned about making their money back? You know, like.
Yes. Yeah. But but Brock, if I walk in and you're like, here, you get a drink or whatever, or you get a free popcorn, free small popcorn, you can pay to up that to a large, or and I might go and get my free popcorn and buy a drink and I don't know, it just enticed me to get in there, you know what I mean? Like, get me in. I may, and maybe the studios are also to blame at this. Maybe everybody should have worked together, but instead AMC now is going to charge more. It just the whole thing smells stinkowitz is what I gotta say. You know what's funny though about this whole box office debate is 20 years ago, Lilo and Stitch came out the same weekend as Minority Report.
Right.
And Minority Report won the weekend, but Disney argued that they won the weekend because they actually sold more tickets than Minority Report. But because children's tickets were half the price of an adult ticket,
oh yeah,
they didn't make as much money as Minority Report. So I remember there was a lot of talking about that back then. And that's always fascinated me. Like, what actually matters? The money you make? I mean, obviously it's the money, but the tickets that's really what you should look at is, well, more people went to go see this movie than that movie, but it's not their fault. Like, kids cost less, you know, and they were running up and down the stairs and everything. But both movies, I actually very much enjoyed both of those movies.
Yeah, they're both great movies.
Just want to let. I'm looking around. I'm trying to find something in my notebook. Yoda.
We now own George Lucas $50.
Probably, you know what? They're really picky when you put stuff on here. So we'll see if I have to trim that in post later on. If I get the email from YouTube, you copyrighted this, you can trim it if you want. All right, YouTube, thanks, you bot run. Anyway, Rogue Squadron's coming. Maybe let's talk about Obi-Wan, Brock. Let's just move on to Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show that's going to come out, and half the fans will love it, and the rest of them will say it's the worst thing ever, and George Lucas deserves his property back, and blah blah blah. But there's a rumor going around that there is an unknown Jedi character who actually knows Obi-Wan Kenobi and has known Obi-Wan Kenobi since before the Clone Wars or around that time. And this character is apparently looking after, like, overseeing maybe Leia or Luke or something to that effect. I don't like reading these things too much, but I thought this was very intriguing because not only that, the other thing that I found interesting about this rumor, Brock, is this isn't a Jedi Council Jedi. This is like a different sect of Jedi, like a different faction of Jedi that's away from that. And that is why and Pauline's saying Ahsoka, but that is, well, maybe, but that is why I wanted to talk about it, because I kind of like this idea that they could be expanding on I think that's a good way to expand the lore. That's the simple way of saying it. I think that is a very good way of expanding the lore and not taking away from what we've had, just expanding on it.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that, because it's like for years, like, how the Force was explained to us was like the interaction between Vader and Luke, and, you know, with the smattering of Palpatine and Yoda and Obi-Wan, and then we get the Clone Wars. But it's like that kind of still fits in that window, right? Because it's like it was explained by the Jedi Order and like what was remaining of the Sith, and it's like as it's grown and grown and grown, the concept of like perhaps like certain things aren't told to you. Like I was actually working with a colleague that said it's like, you know how like Obi-Wan just sort of like lies to Luke in the first one, like from a certain point of view. Yes. This is how it happens. Like a certain point of view, you're lying to me. So it's like even the Jedi Order isn't as truthful as like we would hope. So there could be I think the only somewhat like problem is they've put all this time into High Republic and we haven't seen any of it. But like there's a very good chance that they'll find a good way to explain it, especially since phase 2 of High Republic is supposed to go 200 years or 100 years in the past of what you read in phase 1. So it's like, so I don't know. It's I'm all for it. I like the idea that like the Force is explained in so many different ways by different people. I mean, when we watched Rebels and we had God, what was that? The Bindu, and it's like, oh, let's go more into this, and they kind of haven't. And like, I think we always kind of liked how Maz Kanata was like, I understand the Force. Actually, in the High Republic, they do have a character that's Force sensitive, but they don't consider her a Jedi, but she's like included in their hijinks, right? So, I mean, technically, what's his face? From the sequels, he was Force sensitive.
Which one?
Finn. Thank you. We're so old. Finn is Force sensitive, so it's like that's not a really new idea to us, and so it's like I love exploring this idea. Why does it have to be black and white? Why can't we go gray? Oh, no. I don't want gray Jedis. I don't want the internet to be right. I've said it before.
I don't think you'll get it gray because I think, well, Pablo Hidalgo came out and said, no, gray. That's not a thing. I think it's really cool. And I think, even though they haven't delved into it in High Republic, like you said, that doesn't really matter because High Republic is telling this story, right? They're not telling this story. And the galaxy, the story we're getting is in this part of the galaxy. And then there's that part of the galaxy and that part of the galaxy and that part of the galaxy. And maybe at some point they intersect, but not always. They're too far away, right? It's like happens by fluke or chance or something. So I don't know. Any opportunity to expand like this for me is how you do it, because I saw someone again, they said Star Wars has to move away from Luke Skywalker, and you're like, no, yes, but no. Like you have to use Luke Skywalker to get away from Luke Skywalker, so you have to bring him back until you set the foundation, and then you can walk away from him. But you can't do that until you get that, and that's going to take a lot of time, because even though it's been 40 years, it's only been 6 5-and-a-bit movies and now 2 episodes of a TV show. Like he hasn't been in much. When you actually think about Luke Skywalker, he hasn't been in much. No, he was in 3 movies, 5 movies and a little bit, because he's not even in the last one. He's in 4 movies and kind of in 2. Like he hasn't been overused. We all think he's been overused because he's Luke, and that's the other problem I have with Luke Skywalker in the minds of everybody, is they've built him up to be something that he's not. He is the main character of the three original trilogy movies, and he's awesome and blah 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 blah. I'm not debating that. But then you have the prequel characters and then the sequels, and it's like everyone expects, like even was it Michael Arndt when he was writing 7? He's like, man, every time Luke shows up, he just takes away from all the characters. Why? Why are we obsessing over the power of Luke? When he was in The Mandalorian, I never thought he took away from anything in The Mandalorian. Grogu took everything away from The Mandalorian. season two finale, Luke was used perfectly. And then in Boba Fett, he was used, like he was there. And I still didn't think he took away from anything. Like I was fine. I didn't want to follow Luke. I wanted to follow Grogu.
Yeah.
And so I think those are the steps you take to get away from Luke, and you have to embrace Luke Skywalker and his minimal performance and the overall saga. He's barely in it, Brock. He's not even in the Clone Wars. Like, show me in the Clone Wars where Luke shows up. That show sucks.
No, it's true. I mean, look, in canon, Tython would have natural disasters or changes to the planet if a Force user was imbalanced. Good way to bring in those users. Oh, that's cool. Which one's Tython again? Is that Murder Planet? No, that's what was Murder Planet? Are you there? Can you hear me now? 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 Can you hear me now?
Hey.
There we go. Which one's Tython?
Hi.
Is that Murder Planet, or what's Murder Planet? Murder Planet was what was that one called?
That was the one in that one was in Fallen Order. We're old, I don't know.
Where you get the holocrons. The Kyber crystal. Sorry. No, I like that idea of like a planet like being attuned with the Force. I would love to go to Jeddah and like when it prospered a little bit more. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. It's like, as much as the Jedi are always sort of the main focus, it would be cool to do some kind of film where it's more of this is the Force, and this is, like the sort of spiritual part of it, where like we can see what they can do with the Force, but how does one communicate with the Force, like specifically, like first person, like POV. I think I keep saying this with like Grogu. It's like he can't talk, but they're having conversations with him through the Force. Like what does that sound like? So it's like that would be kind of cool. How did we even get on this? The Jedi in possible Jedi and Obi-Wan. Yeah, yeah.
All rumors. Yeah,
but
I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, I think let's go crazy. I mean, look, James. Every once in a while, you have a show like Frasier, where you're like, this is from original IP, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll go buy into this. Like, I know this character, he was kind of in something else. It's like, yeah, and then you win. But every once in a while, you drop in some Cheers. You know, you drop in a Sam Malone, you drop in a Carla, you drop in who else was? Did Christy Alley ever? I don't know. You know what I mean? But like,
Yes,
you can't. You like, you've created a universe that the focus was this, so it's like, why wouldn't you drop it in? Yeah, maybe we won't move away from the Skywalkers, but like, why? Ilum, thank you. Murder Planet, Murder Stellar Killer.
You get away from the Skywalkers when the story allows you to get away from the Skywalkers, because when you don't, then it just becomes Valerian. It's just another sci-fi property. It doesn't matter. It's not Star Wars. You have to take Star Wars. Yeah. And then do another Star Wars, and it's called layers. And then eventually that middle layer will be so far away that kids in the year 2033, when we're doing our episode on 33, they won't even know what a Star Wars is anymore, because it'll be called Valerian by then.
It's a real bummer that like we know that Luke's Jedi Academy, Jedi Temple, it fails. Like, because to see it being put together in the end of Book of Boba Fett, and like, because like, yeah, you could hypothetically jump 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, or whatever you need to do to get Grogu to a point where he talks and is like, I don't know, teen Grogu. I don't know, maybe 100 years, like, because he's whatever. So like, that could work, but then like, then you have to start from scratch, and you have this one character, which I don't know. I maybe like baby Groot to teen Groot was like, nothing really came of that. So now I'm like, teen Grogu, what would that be like?
Yeah, I don't think I think he's gonna stay a baby for as long as we know him.
Yeah.
I mean, now eventually they will reuse him in properties and blah blah blah. I think he's destined to. I don't know what he's destined to be. Maybe rule Mandalore or something. I think Boba Fett might be onto that. Someone's onto that. Maybe Grogu. It won't be the Mandalorian though. But I think you're right though. Like, we know the outcome of Luke's Jedi school, and it's kind of like, oh man, that's one reason why I kind of wanted to stay with Luke. Was because it's like, well, what happened in that 20 years and however 20, 15 years, 10 years, whatever it is between that and Force Awakens, right? Like, what happened there, really? Because we see The Last Jedi, but I don't think we're ever really given like we're shown the two, and then the third one may be the real one, but something like this might be the first step down that pathway for Luke. Was there more? What else happened? Did he lose like, there could be a lot of stories in there that could really flesh this out. Like you always say, the Clone Wars to you know, fixes or makes you appreciate the prequels a little bit more. And I think the sequels, they're lacking the Clone Wars of the prequels, and that's what these shows are doing. But if we move away, we're not going to get that. So I would love to know more about that. But that being said, if I never got it, I'm also satisfied because I know the outcome of it. So it's anything you tell me there, it's like on a path of destruction. And then Brock, and then the Luke Skywalker, the 40-year-old Luke Skywalker fanboy crybabies will all be and then I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that. Spoiler alert, I'm also 40, but I don't know if I can handle that, you know, like we've got it enough. Like anyway, like so I get annoyed with Kylo is 29, so we're looking at 19 years from that point.
Right.
I was 29.
Wow.
He's old.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, you know, it's just like, not to deviate too much from the original question of like this new Jedi character in Obi-Wan, but like I think Obi-Wan's going to suffer the same issue of like, well, we know what's going to happen next. But I think in the future, it's like, that's like, what would it look like? I mean, I doubt it'll happen, but like, I wouldn't be adverse to like, we get a new movie and it's like 70-year-old Rey has created some kind of organization, and we don't follow her. She's just there, and we're like, cool. So yeah,
there is a rumor that they're working on a post sequel trilogy series for Disney Plus. There's actually a few rumors actually going around that kind of add up almost to me. There's that one, and then there's another one that there is a Star Wars Stranger Things show happening that might take place that one might take place in the High Republic, but there's a lot of whatever. But it's about like kids, like 10-year-olds and 13-year-olds and stuff. The other thing though that ties into it for me is John Watts apparently is being courted to direct a couple episodes of a streaming show, and John Watts did Spider-Man, which is about high school kids, and he did Cop Car, which is about kids who steal a cop car. And it's almost like that, so that kind of really fits into that Stranger Thing. I don't know what else to call it, but the kids Star Wars, that really seems to fit into it for me. And so I think it's all that one seems to be lining up, and I really hope that we hear nothing about it. Then all of a sudden they're like, "This is coming out. Enjoy." Because that's what I want. I don't want any more announcements. I just want to sit down and turn on my Disney Plus and, what's a new Star Wars show's on? And hit play and enjoy my Star Wars show.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, because it's like they give us something and then we have to wait again. Like, I'm grateful for it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, yeah. And it's like, Star Wars does this thing where we're like, well, if it's not on the movies, does it count? And like, I think we're starting to count the TV shows now, but like, I don't know. It's they're so busy in books and comics, but at the end of the day, like they're like, it's like people seem to be very excited about this like Crimson Reign, Crimson Dawn stuff that's happening currently in the comics and slowly will be through the next couple months. I believe it started. I'm not sure, but it's like, yeah, but like as cool as we want to hear more about Kira, it's like does that count? So I don't know. It's just like Marvel gets away with it. Mm-hmm.
TV and film counts, but Marvel doesn't count when it's in a comic, because the comics is a different universe from the movies, right? They don't coexist.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas a TV show, yeah, that's the problem. Is like, I appreciate that everything's tying in, but I do think that like the High Republic, what it's doing so well is the books and the comics work together because they're the same like medium, whereas film and TV can work together. Like, they're so different. I don't know if what Lucasfilm had planned with, or Disney, whoever it was, had planned with everything kind of. I don't know if it's working out. I mean, I think it is, but it isn't. Like, because people complain like the Kanan comic got retcon in Bad Batch, and this gets retcon. It's like, yeah, because it's gonna happen, because you have different creative minds doing things, and unless it's on screen, it's just not like no one. The canon comic, as good as it was, it got canned. It got canceled. I got it at Dollarama. The thing got canceled. As good as it was, actually really good, but it got canceled because not enough people were reading it. And if not enough people are reading something, then there's, then I'm sorry, but feel free to change it, because it's not a thing. If they did a comic and it blew up and everybody, and your dad was like, I just read this Star Wars comic.
Yeah, right.
But if that happened, then I'd be like, okay, this comic is a thing. This is legit. And then you have to adapt it for screen still, because there's people that still won't read it. But that's the way I go. Do you want to go on to the odds?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm trying.
Approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you and me by the wonderful people on Patreon. Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcasts. You like what we do? We try our best, but it's always nice to know we have support. So if you want to support us, we would greatly appreciate that. Go down to Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and help us out. We greatly love you for it. That's right. There's no like, There's no like. There's just love. Thank you. And we love these people. Heidi Feder, executive producer, who is not here tonight, and it is very strange. Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanifor, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W.
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, and the Girls with Sabers. That's my song. I wrote a song for all of you. If you want a song, join our Patreon. I just lost my page. Thank you all for your support, though. It really means a lot to us. You help us out. And one day my internet's going to work, I promise. Never tell me the Aussie. First odd, will the Bad Batch premiere once Obi-Wan ends? Initially, Brock, it was rumored, I don't know, that it was coming out in the spring, but now Disney has taken it off of their schedule. No one knows. So is it going to come out in the summer, right when Obi-Wan Kenobi ends, or is that late spring technically, maybe? Or are we going to have to wait till the fall?
It's so weird. It's like, why are these projects that I assume are finished are like getting delayed? Like, we still don't have a date for Andor. So it's like, will Bad Batch still come out before Andor? Who knows? So, what was the question again? Premiere once. I'm gonna go 40% on this because it seems like they're hesitating on what. Like, it felt like that's what was gonna happen, but I don't know. So,
unless Andor comes out right after Obi-Wan, unless that's the one, I'm gonna go 70%, and that's like either a week off or 2 weeks off. We're either gonna get Andor or Bad Batch, so I'm gonna go 70% on that because I think you got momentum. Use it, like you said. Why are you hiding all this stuff?
Yeah,
like, just give it to us. Next, never tell me the odds. Will Captain Typho appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? We getting Captain Typho back, Brock? Hondo percent. Hondo percent.
No, I'm gonna go 15%. I don't know. Like, sure. I put him in there if we have a reason to go to Naboo. If we don't, then I don't get why.
If it doesn't happen, do you know what will happen?
What?
Check the board. Kathleen Kennedy fired. If Typho's not in it, check the board. Out of here. Kathleen Kennedy out of here. I'm gonna go 48%. I really want it to happen. Panaka's mentioned in Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and he dies. Spoiler alert. But I really want Typho to show up in this. Panaka ends up being an Imperial. He's whatever, but Typho, I believe, is a good guy to the end, and I want him to die in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I want him to go down as heroic as possible. I want him to take Anakin's lightsaber and take down an Inquisitor and then get stabbed from behind like a coward.
All this looks like is like you're watching Disney Channel. It's like, it's not lightsaber moves. You're like, hey, I'm James and you're watching Disney Channel.
I'm Captain Typho, and this is the Disney Channel. And the final odd today, as I do, never tell me this, Max Rebo will appear in Obi-Wan. Are we going to get Max Rebo?
100%.
Is Max Rebo just going to be? Yeah, of course.
I think that would be genius if they did that. We're like, haha. Some people still think he's dead, and it's like, but like they went out of their way to point out he wasn't there. Like, so.
I don't even know if that was like he died on a sail barge, man. He was all right. That was a ghost.
Oh my goodness! Imagine that they create that, and then they do the Stranger Things, and it reveals that he's been dead the whole time after Return of the Jedi.
He's a demigorgon.
Kiss.
I'm gonna go 60% because I want it, not because it's gonna happen, but because I want it to happen. And if it doesn't happen, guess what, KK? Check the board.
I gotta remember which way. Oh, this way.
Fired.
It's
one way. She's gone.
Oh my.
Those are our odds. Let us know what your odds are. Let us know what your odds are in the comments down below or in the live chat, wherever you want. Just give us your odds. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. It's all fun. And now it is time for top 5.
Top 5. Standing by. What's today's top 5, James?
Top 5 prequel characters to appear in Obi-Wan Kenobi. By the way, I think that the mysterious Jedi is going to be Kumail Nanjiani. And I think he's going to be like some... Because he said he's playing like a character that we know, but a different take on them. And that would make sense if he's a Jedi, but not a Jedi. So, and you know what? We never go back and check our odds, Brock, or anything. But I'm going to... If I'm right about that, I'm going to come back. I'm going to slice this. And I'm going to plaster this everywhere. And everyone's going to have to respect me. I'm talking to you, Mom.
Mom.
Top 5 prequel characters to appear. Prequel characters only to appear in Obi-Wan Kenobi. My number 5 is Mas Ameda.
So is this like only
is
movie
like
characters? Is this only movie characters, or are we?
I did only movie. I did.
Okay, I'll do only movie characters.
I did only, but you're allowed to include. You could do Clone Wars if you want.
No, I'll do
news,
movies.
Polly, no news. The Galactic Star Cruiser is $6,000. That's the news.
Yeah, and people are sort of like, someone said like it feels like a bunker. I'm gonna go number 5. Dexter Jexter, because like he's like, I run a deli, but like it would be cool if he's like, I'm a warrior. Camino.
I work on Tatooine, Mos Espa, Clone.
Obi-Wan.
My number 4 is Count Dooku. We're gonna get flashbacks, Brock. Rumors are that Hayden Christensen did some with some de-aging stuff. So bring on Dooku. I like more Dooku. Give me all the Dooku you can handle.
My number 4 is going to be one of the Kaminoans. I don't know how you do it, but like it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that's it. Number 3.
His name is Kit. Last name is Fisto. He is Kit
that.
Fisto. He's my number 3-0. Death Sticks. Vermont Mike wants Death Sticks guy. Hey, Obi-Wan. He's the mysterious Jedi. Brock, he's a mysterious Jedi. He's like, I went home and rethought my life. I learned about the Force. I'm back.
My number 3 is going to be Kitster. So you know we're going to Tatooine anyways. He's back.
I'm waiting for my internet to catch up.
Did you hear what I said?
Oh, I didn't hear you at all.
I'm gonna go Kitster for my number
I saw
3.
Your mouth move.
Nice.
Yes, Kitster. Kitster is back.
Yeah.
I wish Kitster was Boba Fett. Wait. Kit Fisto is dead, right? Yes, but not in my heart. My number 2. You already said him. He's everyone's favorite cook / greasy spoon owner. Cloners. Dexter Jetster. Bring him in. I hope he's Obi-Wan's personal chef. Oh, and imagine, Brock, the finale, the Obi-Wan finale. Dexter's making Obi-Wan dinner in his little hut on Tatooine. He drops it down and goes, we've been friends a long time, but now I have to sleep. And then he dies like an emotional death like Yoda.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness. I just killed Dexter Jetster. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be tricky because we don't know exactly the timeline on this, but Aura Singh, because perhaps she's still alive before Beckett gets to her. It could work. I don't know.
Yeah, is Solo before or after? Maybe they're side by side, and maybe it does work. And maybe who cares? They just bring her in.
Yeah.
That's really what they could do. Now, that was a different... He mentioned a different Aura Singh. He said Mora Singh. It was Mora Singh. And they're like, Woody, you have to come here. You have to change it to more. You have to say Mora.
Mora.
And my number 1 is Jar Jar Binks. Shocker. Jar Jar Binks.
You know what? Number one for me is also Jar Jar Binks.
What?
I mean, if you're gonna have like Typho or whatever, you might as well put Jar Jar in there as well. If you're gonna go Naboo, let's just go all out.
I think, look, Jar Jar, Ahmed Best deserves this. You know, Hayden Christensen's getting it. George Clooney's going to be Batman again. I don't know if you heard that, but he is. He's not.
I did not.
He will be for me. That's not real.
Oh,
everybody's getting a second chance everyone's getting a second chance at redemption at these characters that they played years ago. Give Ahmed Best that, because I remember my reaction when I got the Jar Jar Binks pin at Celebration.
Oh man, we were so close to having that on video, and it would have been perfect too.
I know,
if we had actually got on video. Ugh.
I know it was genuine. I want some Jar Jar. I love Jar Jar, but that's it. Let us know what your top 5 are in the comments below. Brock, anything else you want to say on Laura Singh?
Laura Singh
on the 240th episode of the Rebel Scum podcast?
No. Go read High Republic. Go buy the new Old Republic game that apparently is going to come out soon, or pre-order it or whatever. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Or you can get Knights of the Old Republic on Nintendo Switch. Go get it.
I think I'm going to get Force Unleashed when it comes out on the Switch. I think I'm going to get that. Because I told you I couldn't find my PS3 copy. Still don't know what my PS3 copy is. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet and pick that one up.
Yeah.
So I was playing a lot of Mario World on the weekend. Mario
cool.
World on my Switch. Just a lot of it. I was just like, I wanted to play something, and I was like, I'm too lazy. So I put on Mario World, and I just got sucked into that for the whole weekend. I just played it. I'm going to go enjoy a Pez. I love the Praetorian Guards need to show up. They need to like have more of these. I want to read a book about them, and they don't talk. They just walk around looking cool. That's what I want.
I think they need to just fully explain Snoke, because I feel like the Praetorian Guards work in with Snoke somehow. They just need to tell us who he is. I know we kind of know,
but not enough. I know what you're saying, and you know it'd be perfect for that, a Disney Plus show.
Oh, no Snoking. Thank you for not snoking. That's what it's called.
It was WandaVision and it was WandaVision, Hawkeye, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Moon Knight. You can't give me a freaking Praetorian Guards and Snoke show. Like, explain, flesh out. The problem is, I'm going to say this is going to be controversial, Brock. No one knows the backstory of Snoke. Favreau and Filoni had the stones to do what they wanted with it, but I don't think anyone really understands. And may the force be with you, Dale. We're going to wrap it up here. Episode 244 on the Rebel podcast. Thank you guys for watching, for listening, for playing along, for joining us. Go to swirl.com. Support that channel. Why not?
Yeah.
We're here to promote everybody. Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Bags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.